YouTube. This is Pastor Green. Today we're going to talk about what on earth is about to happen for heaven's sake, Part 4E, the Abomination of Desolation. You can email me at godsohman@gmail.com. That's godsohman@gmail.com. If you remember my previous WOE series, we're going to talk about number 4. Today we're going to talk about 4C. Remember, 4A was talking about the treaty. 4B is going to be the great falling away. The one we're going to talk about today, C, is going to be the Abomination of Desolation. That's when the Antichrist breaks the treaty. And, next time we're going to do D, which is the Great Tribulation. And finally E, which is going to be the Day of Christ. So like I said, we're going to talk about the Abomination of Desolation, which is Part C. It happens in that little small strip on the bottom. The word abomination, according to the dictionary, means a thing that causes disgust or hatred. There's many different types of abominations. Genesis 46:33. It shall come to pass, when Pharaoh shall call you and say, what is your occupation? That ye shall say, thy servant's trade has been about cattle from our youth, even until now, both we and also our fathers, that ye may dwell in the land of Goshen. For every shepherd is an abomination unto the Egyptians. This one, the abomination, is talking about abomination unto, us, people. Leviticus 11, number 9. These shall you eat of all that are in waters, whatsoever has fins and scales in the waters, and in the seas, and the rivers, them shall ye eat. And all that have not fins and scales in the sea, and the rivers, of all that moves in the waters, of all living things which are in the waters, these shall be an abomination unto you. The last one we saw was abomination unto the Egyptians. This one's going to make you sick. It's abomination unto you. Leviticus 18:22. Thou shalt not lie with mankind, as with a womankind. It is an abomination. And this is talking about men and women should not be with animals. And this is saying it's an abomination unto God. Deuteronomy 22:5. And a woman shall not wear that which pertaineth to a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that you do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy God. This is also an abomination unto God. So there's different ways you can be an abomination. You can be an abomination to somebody else, you can be an abomination to yourself, or you can be an abomination to God. And all abomination means is it's going to make you sick. So either you make somebody else sick, you can make yourself sick, or you can make God sick. We're going to start with Daniel 9, verse 27. And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. And in the midst of the week shall he cause the sacrifices and the oblation to cease. And for the overspending of abominations he shall make it desolate, even unto the consummation, and that determinate shall be poured upon the desolate. Daniel 11:31. An arm shall not stand on part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and shall take away the daily sacrifice, and they shall place the abomination that maketh desolate. Notice it says they shall place the abomination. So that could be a person or a thing that they actually place it there. So a lot of people, including me, believe that the abomination is going to be some type of AI, some type of robot. And I'll show you why here in a second. Daniel 12:11. And from the time that the daily sacrifices shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up, there shall be 1,290 days. So now it's telling you that the abomination needs to be set up. Well, you don't really set up, something unless it's going to be some type of like a statue, or maybe some type of a picture or something like that. And it says the abomination is going to be 2,000. It shall be 1,290 days. So that's 1,290 days that the sanctuary is going to be desolate. Daniel 8:12. And a host was given him against the daily sacrifice by reason of transgression, and it cast down the truth to the ground, and it practiced and prospered. See, now it's talking about the abomination of desolation. It's saying that it is going to stop the sacrifices. It is going to cast down the truth. and it practiced and it prospered. So it really can't be an animal, and since statues can't move, how can it be controlling things? So it has to be some type of a robot that's actually controlling things. The robot is deciding who can sacrifice and who can't sacrifice. The robot's going to decide, what's truth and what's not truth, and it's going to practice and prosper. That's why I personally believe it's going to be AI. And as you guys know, AI is getting really advanced right now. We just had Sophia the robot who was given citizenship in Saudi Arabia. Give it a couple more years, and we're going to have AI in our military that's going to be fighting instead of having soldiers. So it's very possible this could be AI. Daniel 8:13, and then I heard one saint speaking, and another saint said unto that certain saint which spoke, How long shall the vision concerning the daily sacrifice and the transgression of the desolate, to give both in the sanctuary and the host to be trodden under foot? And he said unto me, 2,300 days, and then the sacrifice shall be cleansed. Now remember, in 4a we talked about the Antichrist making a treaty. So the first thing has to happen is there has to be some type of a treaty allowing the Jews to build their temple. You can't have sacrifices in a temple without a temple, so they got to first build a temple. Then we're going to have the great falling away. We're going to have a time where Christians are going to fall away from the truth for many different reasons. Maybe because there's martial law, and if you're a Christian, you get killed or put in jail. Maybe because they're trying to ask people, hey, if you turn on your friend, we'll give you some money, we'll give you some food. And so people are falling away because of that. Maybe people are falling away because they weren't really Christian to begin with. They were just, doing it to do something. Or it's also possible that a lot of preachers out there are talking about how the rapture is going to happen at the beginning of the tribulation, and they're going to see that was not true, and they're going to fall away from their faith for that. And then part C, the Antichrist is going to break the treaty, and he's going to set up the Abomination of Desolation. And then after that, there's going to be the Great Tribulation. If you look at Matthew 24, Mark 13, and Luke 21, it says that the disciples asked Jesus, "What are the signs and when are they coming?" And he answered them in Mark 24, Matthew 24, Mark 13, and Luke 21. Jesus told them right here, this little small green strip where the arrows are pointing, about the Abomination of Desolation. He told them that the first 3.5 years, there's going to be things that's going to happen. There's going to be the Abomination of Desolation, and then the sun and the moon go dark, and he's going to gather up his elect. So in Mark 24, there's this passage over here in Mark, and here in Luke, and then in the end, he's going to talk about the last when the sun and the moon goes dark, in both Matthew and Mark and in Luke. So the green area on top, the blue area on top, is going to talk about the first 3.5 years. Rumors of war. They're going to gather up the Christians and they're going to put them in jail and kill them. And that little small green area below the blue area is going to talk about the Abomination of Desolation, which is what we're talking about right now. Each one of them only is one verse. Matthew 24:15, Mark 13:14, and Luke 21:20. Matthew 24 says, When ye therefore shall see the Abomination of Desolation, spoken by Daniel the prophet, standing in the holy place, whoever readeth this, let him understand. Then let them which be in Judea flee to the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Mark 13:14. But when ye shall see the Abomination of Desolation spoken by Daniel the prophet, standing where it ought not, let him that readeth understand. Then let him be in Judea flee to the mountains. And then Luke 21:20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst depart out, and let them not that are in the countries enter therein. Basically, Matthew, Mark, and Luke is saying that there's going to be a really crazy thing going on in Judea. And so if you're in Judea, get out of there. If you're already out of there, don't go to the city, because there's going to be a lot of bad things happening. Some people believe that Antiochus Epiphanes already had the great desolation of Abomination. If you read the book of First and Second Maccabees, which is in the Catholic Bible, they talk about part of Judea's history between the Old Testament and the New Testament. And Antiochus Epiphanes, what he did was he actually burnt a pig on the altar, making the altar desolate. He actually made the altar desolate for 1,075 days, and the temple had to be clean after he sacrificed a pig on the altar. So a lot of people think that maybe Antiochus Epiphanes is what they're talking about in Daniel 9:27, but he only kept the temple desolate for 1,075 days, so it can't be him, because if you go back to Daniel, it talks about how long it's actually going to be. Daniel 8:13, somebody asked, how long shall the vision concern the daily sacrifice and the transgression, the desolation, to give both the sanctuary and the host to be trodden underfoot? And he said unto me, 2,300 days, then the sanctuary shall be cleansed. So Ananias Epiphanes, he only did it for 1,075 days. This said it's going to be 2,300 days. So it can't be him. It must be something else in the future. So obviously, it's going to be what happens in Daniel. It's going to be what's in Matthew, and it hasn't happened yet. I appreciate you guys sticking with me again. Thank you for watching my video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, like. Also click that notification bell and make comments. When you like and make comments, it helps me get seen more. And when you click the notification bell, it lets you know when I post a new video. I'm going to be doing part 4 of D soon, which is going to be what's called the Great Tribulation. That's going to be a really crazy time, so make sure you guys pay attention to that. Thank you very much and have a great day.